The vast ocean planet called Kale 9 filled the view screens of the alien ship Dawn Horizon. Endless blue water stretched in every direction, broken only by a few dark rocky islands that rose like sharp teeth from the waves. The water was not normal. It was thick with salt, far more salt than any ocean the Vorin had ever seen. Their scientists said it could melt flesh and metal in minutes. No living thing could swim in it and live. The Vorin were tall beings with soft glowing skin and many long tentacles. They moved smoothly through their ship's wide halls. Their eyes were large and bright. Right now, those eyes stared at the data screens with worry. Captain Vexlar stood at the center of the bridge. His tentacles twisted slowly as he watched the new arrival. A smaller human ship, the New Frontier, had just entered orbit. It was boxy and plain compared to the smooth curves of the Dawn Horizon. The humans called themselves explorers. They came from a world called Earth. The Vorin had read the files. Earth had water, air, and life that seemed weak. Yet these humans kept finding new stars and new dangers. A message came through the comms. The voice was calm and clear. "This is Captain Elias Grant of the New Frontier. We request permission to send a small team to the surface of Kale 9. We want to study the rocky islands and take some samples from the water." Captain Vexlar turned to his observer, Thalvir. Thalvir was the one who spoke most with other species. His skin glowed a soft green when he was calm. Now it flickered yellow with concern. "Answer them," Vexlar said in their clicking language. "Tell them the truth." Thalvir touched a panel. His voice came out smooth in human English. "Captain Grant, this is Observer Thalvir of the Coalition survey vessel, Dawn Horizon. We welcome peaceful contact. However, we must warn you. The oceans of Kale 9 have extreme salinity, over 450 grams per liter. This level causes instant and total destruction of carbon-based tissue. Even our strongest probes fail after short contact. Direct immersion is certain death for your biology. We advise against landing near the water." There was a short pause. Then Elias Grant's voice returned. It sounded almost cheerful. "Thank you for the warning, Observer Thalvir. We have studied your data. It matches what we expected. My team has special equipment. We still want to go down. We will stay on the basalt platform at coordinates 749 by 211. It is one of the larger dry islands. We will not put the whole ship at risk." Thalvir's tentacles curled tighter. "Captain, your equipment cannot protect you from this sea. The salt will burn through any seal in seconds. Your suits will not hold. Please reconsider." Another pause. Then Elias said, "We appreciate the concern, really, but we have done tests. We know what we're doing. Permission to proceed?" Vexlar looked at his crew. Every face showed the same thought. These humans were strange. They did not fear death the way others did. Vexlar gave a slow nod. Thalvir spoke again. "Permission granted. We will observe from orbit. Our drones will record everything. If you need rescue, call us at once, but we do not expect to be able to help in time." "Understood," Elias replied. "See you on the other side." The channel closed. Silence filled the bridge. Vexlar turned back to the main screen. The New Frontier had already launched a small landing craft. It dropped toward the planet like a silver arrow. The Vorin watched as it fell through the thick clouds and aimed for the Black Rock Island. Thalvir moved closer to the screen. "They are truly going to do it. They will die for science." "Maybe," Vexlar answered, "or maybe not. Humans are different." The landing craft touched down with a soft thud on the rough basalt. Dust rose around it. The side door opened. 6 humans stepped out. They wore light gray jumpsuits, not the heavy armored ones the Vorin expected. Each carried a small backpack and a clear mask over their face. No big helmets, no thick gloves. The camera drones from the Dawn Horizon zoomed in. The humans looked small against the huge ocean behind them. Waves crashed against the rock, with angry white foam. The air smelled of salt, even through the drone sensors. Captain Elias Grant walked first. He was tall, with short brown hair. He looked around and nodded. "Nice spot," he said to his team. Good solid rock, no cracks we can see. Olivia Martinez, the biologist, knelt and touched the black stone. It's cooled lava, very stable, perfect. She had dark hair tied back and bright eyes. Nathan Brooks, the geochemist, set up a small tripod with sensors. Air reads normal, pressure good, but that water, yeah, the readings are off the chart. This stuff could strip paint in seconds. Sofia Rivera laughed softly. She was the materials engineer. Good thing we didn't bring paint. Lucas Hayes, the dive specialist, stood at the edge of the rock. He looked down at the churning sea. Looks fun, he said with a grin. Emma Collins, the medical officer, checked her kit. Everyone's vitals steady. No signs of stress, yet. From orbit, Thalvire stared. They joke. They stand so close to death. And they joke. The drones picked up Elias's voice again. He spoke to the open channel so the Vorin could hear. Observer Thalvire, we are on the ground. Everything's stable. We will start sample collection soon. Thank you again for the data. It helped us plan. Thalvire answered slowly. You are welcome, Captain. But please, be careful. The sea does not forgive mistakes. Elias looked up at the sky. He knew the aliens were watching. Don't worry, we don't plan on making mistakes. He turned to his team. All right, everyone, let's get set up. Lucas, Sophia, check the entry point. The rest of us will run the surface scans first. The humans moved with calm purpose. They unpacked cases and set tools on the rock. All the while, the deadly ocean roared behind them. Salt spray flew high, hissing where it touched hot stone. On the dawn horizon, the Vorin crew gathered closer to the screens. No one spoke much. They just watched. These small, soft humans stood on the edge of a poison sea. They did not run. They did not hide. They prepared to meet it. Thalvir's skin shifted to a deeper yellow. Fear mixed with wonder. What kind of people are these? He whispered. Vexlar did not answer right away. He kept his eyes on the screen. The kind who came all this way, he said at last. The kind who do not turn back. Below, on the black rock, Elias Grant looked out over the endless water. A small smile touched his face. The plunge would come soon. For now, he let the wind carry the salt smell to him. It felt familiar. The small landing craft sat quiet on the black basalt rock. Its engines had cooled, and the only sound now came from the angry waves below. They crashed against the sharp edges of the island, sending up sprays of white foam that hissed and steamed when they touched the hot stone. The air smelled strong of salt, thick enough to taste on the tongue. The 6 humans worked fast but without hurry. They knew the Vorin watched from high above. Every move they made was seen by those glowing eyes on the dawn horizon. Elias Grant stood near the open door of the craft. He checked his small backpack one last time. Inside were extra oxygen tanks, tools, and a few sealed sample jars. Nothing heavy. Nothing that looked like real protection. Olivia Martinez unpacked a flat case. She pulled out thin tubes and small sensors. These will go in the water first, she said, just to double-check the numbers. Nathan Brooks nodded. He already had his tripod set up. Red lights blinked on it as it scanned the sea. Salinity at 462 grams per liter right now. Temperature 39 degrees Celsius at the surface. That's hot enough to cook an egg. And the pH is low, very acidic mix down there. Sofia Rivera knelt beside him. She held a small metal square in her hand. It was one of their test pieces. Watch this. She tossed it gently toward the edge. The square hit the rock, bounced once and slid into a shallow pool of trapped seawater. Within seconds the metal bubbled. Tiny holes appeared. Smoke rose. In less than a minute, the square was gone, just a dark stain left behind. Lucas Hayes whistled low. That's impressive. Reminds me of that time we tested gear in the brine pools back home. Emma Collins smiled as she checked the team's heart rates on her wrist pad. Everyone's calm. Pulse rates normal. No adrenaline spike yet. Good. Thalvir's tentacles moved in slow circles. He stared at the main screen. The drone cameras showed everything in clear detail. The humans did not wear the thick suits the Voron expected. No sealed helmets, no armored plates, just light jumpsuits, clear dive masks, and small rebreather packs that looked too simple for this place. Thalvir spoke to Captain Vexlar without looking away from the screen. They bring almost nothing. Look at their gear. Thin fabric, small tanks. Those masks will not keep the salt out. One breath of that vapor, and their lungs will burn. Vexlar's skin glowed a steady orange. They know the danger. They read our data, yet they stand there. They even smile. A junior observer named Lirkan made a soft clicking sound. Perhaps they do not understand. Perhaps their minds work differently. Thalvir shook his head. No, they understand. That is what worries me. Down on the rock, Elias called his team together. Okay, listen up. We stick to the plan. Lucas and Sophia go first. Short dive, 10 minutes max. Grab water samples at 3 depths. Look for any visible life or strange formations. The rest of us stay dry and monitor. If anything looks wrong, we pull them out fast. Lucas Hayes stepped forward. He was tall and strong, with short black hair and steady eyes. He pulled his dive mask down over his face. It sealed with a soft click. The rebreather hummed quietly against his chest. Sofia Rivera did the same. Her dark hair was tied tight. She gave Lucas a quick nod. They walked to the edge of the rock shelf. The drop was about 3 meters to the water. Waves rolled in hard, white and foaming. Salt crystals already stuck to their boots from the spray. Elias spoke into the open comm channel. Observer Thalvir, this is Captain Grant. Lucas Hayes and Sofia Rivera are about to enter the water. Dive time will be short. We will keep the channel open so you can hear everything. Thalvir's voice came back fast. Captain, wait, please. Our latest probe data shows ionic spikes near your position. The water is reacting to the heat of the rock. It will be even more aggressive now. Your skin will... Elias cut in gently. We know, thank you. But we are ready. Thalvir tried again. At least use full suits. We can send down. No need, Elias said. We got this. On the bridge, Vexlar raised one tentacle. Let them. Record everything. Every second. Lucas looked at Sophia. You good? Always, she said. They counted down together. 3, 2, 1. They jumped. Both bodies cut clean through the air. They hit the water with small splashes. The surface boiled around them for a moment. Steam rose high. The foam turned angry red as it mixed with the brine. Then they were gone, swallowed by the deadly sea. The drone cameras zoomed in tight. No bubbles rose, no movement, just the rolling waves and the hissing sound. On the dawn horizon, alarms beeped softly. Sensors flashed red. 0 biosignatures, one analyst said. No heat traces, no movement. Thalvir's skin went pale yellow. They are lost. Vexlar stared at the screen. Wait. Below, Elias and the others stood at the edge. They did not panic. Olivia held a handheld scanner pointed at the water. Nathan watched his tripod data. Emma kept eyes on the vital signs feed. Still strong signals, Emma said. Heart rate's up a little from the jump. Breathing steady. They're in. The team on the rock looked calm. They talked in low voices. They pointed at the water like it was just another day at the beach. Up above, Thalvir could not believe it. How? The salt should be tearing their cells apart. The acidity should blind them. Why are their vitals perfect? No one answered. They all watched the empty water. Minutes passed. 5, 10, 15. The Voron bridge felt heavy with silence. Some turned away. Others leaned closer. Then, at 20 minutes, a ripple broke the surface. 2 heads appeared. Lucas and Sophia swam toward the rock with easy strokes. They moved like the water was cool and friendly, not a poison soup. Lucas reached the rock first. He grabbed a handhold and pulled himself up. Water poured off him. Salt crystals sparkled on his skin and hair like white diamonds. He took off his mask and shook his head. Droplets flew. Sophia climbed up next. She grinned wide. That was wild. Visibility down there is crazy. Saw some crystal formations already growing on the bottom. Lucas laughed. Yeah, and the current strong. Felt like swimming in thick syrup. They walked back to the group, dripping. Their jumpsuits clung wet, but their skin looked fine. No burns, no redness, no pain. Elias clapped Lucas on the shoulder. Good work. Samples? Sophia held up 2 sealed jars. Clear liquid swirled inside. Got them at 5 meters and 10 meters. Waters layered, different densities. Interesting stuff. Olivia took the jars carefully. These will tell us a lot. From orbit, the Voran stared in total silence. Thalvir's voice shook when he spoke over the comm. Captain Grant, they are alive, healthy. How? He knew they were watching. Told you we had special equipment. But your skin, Thalvir said. Direct contact, no protection. Elias smiled. Our skin is the protection. Been dealing with salt water for a long time. Nathan added, Earth's oceans taught us a few tricks. Sophia wiped salt from her face. Feels good, actually. Kind of refreshing. The humans laughed softly among themselves. On the dawn horizon, Captain Vexlar turned to Thalvir. They did not just survive, they enjoyed it. Thalvir's tentacles hung still. Wonder replaced fear in his eyes. What are these humans? No one answered. They all kept watching the small figures on the black rock. 6 people who had just walked into death, and walked back out smiling. The deadly sea rolled on below them. It roared and foamed. But for the first time, the Voran wondered if the sea was the dangerous one, or if the real danger was the species that loved to jump into it. The water closed over Lucas Hayes and Sophia Rivera, like a thick, heavy blanket. It was warm, not hot enough to burn right away, but warm enough to feel strange against their skin. The salt hit them all at once. It stung their eyes even through the masks. It pressed into every tiny opening. But they had expected that. They kicked down hard, pushing deeper into the blue-green haze. From above, the rock island looked small. Now it was just a dark shadow overhead. The light from KL9's sun filtered through the layers of brine in weird ways. Beams bent and twisted. Small crystals floated everywhere, like slow snow. Some were sharp. Some were soft and milky. The water moved in slow, lazy currents that pulled at their bodies. Lucas checked his wrist display. Depth, 8 meters. Time underwater, 2 minutes. His breathing stayed even. The rebreather clicked softly with each breath. No panic, no fear, just focus. Sophia swam beside him. She pointed down. A cluster of strange white formations grew on the seafloor. They looked like twisted towers, built from salt and minerals. Tiny bubbles rose from their tips. She pulled out a small tool and scraped a sample into a jar. The tool hissed a little as the water touched the metal, but it held. They went deeper, 12 meters. The pressure pushed against their ears. They swallowed hard to clear it. The water grew thicker here. It felt almost like swimming through warm oil. Every stroke took more effort, but their muscles remembered. Years of training in Earth's own salty places had prepared them. On the dawn horizon, the bridge was frozen. Every Voran eye locked on the drone feeds. The cameras followed the 2 humans down. Sensors screamed warnings. Ionic levels critical, acidity rising, temperature spikes near their bodies. Yet the human vital signs stayed green. Heart rates calm. Oxygen use normal. No cell damage readings. Thalvir's tentacles trembled. This cannot be. Our models say their outer cells should rupture in under 90 seconds. Their blood should boil with salt imbalance. Why do the numbers lie? An analyst spoke in a low click. The models are correct for most carbon life. These humans, they are not most. Captain Vexlar watched without blinking. Keep recording. Every detail. Down below, Lucas tapped Sophia's arm. He pointed to a dark crack in the rock floor. Something moved inside it. Not alive, maybe, just a current stirring crystals. But it looked alive in the dim light. Sophia nodded. She swam closer. Her hand reached out. She scooped a handful of the floating white powder. It sparkled between her fingers. She sealed it in a small bag. They talked over their private comms. The Vorin could not hear this channel. Feels heavier than the Dead Sea, Lucas said. Sophia laughed quietly. Yeah, and saltier. My tongue's going numb just from the spray in my mask. Still better than that dive in the Red Sea last year. Remember the jellyfish? Sophia groaned. Don't remind me. They kept moving. 15 meters. The bottom was close now. Sand mixed with salt crystals crunched under their fins when they touched down. They knelt. Sophia took more samples. Lucas planted a small marker flag. It would help later drones find the spot. Time underwater, 9 minutes. They had planned for 10, but the water felt good, strong, like it challenged them. They did not want to leave yet. Lucas looked up. The rock island was a faint black line far above. We should head back soon. Don't want to push it. Sophia nodded. One more sample. That crystal cluster over there. They swam toward it. The formation was bigger up close. Tall as a person. It grew in slow spirals. Salt had built it layer by layer over years. Maybe centuries. Sophia reached out and touched it gently. The surface was hard. Smooth in places. Rough in others. She broke off a small piece with her tool. It came away clean. Beautiful, she said. Like ice, but not cold. Lucas smiled behind his mask. Earth has stuff like this in caves, but nothing this big. They turned back, kicked up toward the light. The ascent was slower. They watched their depth numbers drop. 10 meters. 8. 5. The water lightened. Colors returned. Blue turned brighter. At 3 meters they paused, let their bodies adjust, breathed deep, then broke the surface together. The air hit them sharp and fresh after the thick brine. Waves slapped around them. Salt stung their lips. They swam to the rock edge. Lucas grabbed the handhold first. He pulled himself up in one smooth motion. Water streamed off him. Sophia followed. They both stood dripping on the basalt. The other 4 humans waited. Elias stepped forward. Welcome back. How was it? Lucas pulled off his mask. Salt crusted his eyebrows. Deep, heavy, amazing. Sophia held up the sample bags. Got plenty. Crystals growing down there are unreal. Olivia took the bags carefully. She looked at the white powder inside. This is going to change everything we thought about extreme halophile environments. Nathan checked his sensors. Water temp rose 2 degrees near your entry point. Your body heat did that. Crazy. Emma scanned them both. No burns, no irritation, skin pH normal, lungs clear. You two are perfect. Lucas laughed. Told you it would be fine. From orbit, the Dawn Horizon bridge exploded into sound. Alarms quieted one by one as data updated. Biosignatures strong. No damage. Vital signs better than before the dive. Thalvir stared. His skin shifted from pale yellow to bright green. Wonder. Pure wonder. They came back, he said. They swam in that poison and came back laughing. Vexlar spoke softly, not laughing at death, laughing because they'd beat it. An analyst pulled up side-by-side images. One showed the humans jumping in, steam rising, water boiling around them. The other showed them climbing out, smiling, whole. How? Thalvir asked again. How do their bodies not dissolve? Another voice answered. Their cells have pumps, special proteins. They balance salt inside and out. They evolved in seas almost this bad. Not quite, but close. Vexlar nodded slowly. And they did not just survive it. They went looking for more. Down on the rock, the team gathered around the samples. They talked fast, excited, hands moved, voices overlapped. Elias looked up at the sky. He knew the aliens were still watching. "Observer Thalvir, you still there?" Thalvir's voice came back. It sounded different now. Not afraid. Curious. "We are here, Captain. We saw everything." "Good," Elias said, "because we're not done yet. Olivia wants to test the surface layer next. Nathan needs temperature profiles. We might go back in." Silence from above. Then Thalvir spoke again. "You want to go back in?" Sophia grinned. She wiped salt from her arms. "Of course. It's the best swim I've had in months." Lucas stretched his shoulders. "Water's nice once you get used to it." The humans laughed. Easy, relaxed. On the bridge, Vexlar turned to his crew. "They call this enjoyable? A sea that melts probes. A sea that kills in minutes. They call it enjoyable." Thalvir looked down at the tiny figures on the black rock. 6 small shapes against the huge, deadly ocean. They stood tall. They talked. They planned the next dive. "Something new," Thalvir said quietly. "We have found something new in the galaxy." Vexlar agreed. Not just explorers, not just survivors. Something more. The waves kept crashing. The salt kept hissing. But now the Vorin no longer saw only death in that water. They saw humans, small, soft, yet somehow stronger than the poisoned sea itself. And the humans? They looked out at the endless blue, smiles on their faces, ready for more. The humans stood together on the black rock. Salt water still dripped from Lucas and Sophia. Small white crystals clung to their hair and jumpsuits like fresh snow. The sun beat down hard, making the drops sparkle. Waves crashed below, loud and steady. The air tasted sharp with salt. Olivia Martinez held one of the sample jars up to the light. The clear liquid inside looked thick. Tiny bits floated in it. She turned the jar slowly. "This is not just salt water," she said. "There are layers, different densities. The bottom part is heavier, almost like oil under syrup." Nathan Brooks looked at his scanner screen. Numbers flashed fast. Temperature drops sharp at 5 meters, then it holds steady. Salinity jumps again at 12. These humans just swam through a chemical sandwich. Emma Collins finished her scan on Lucas and Sophia. She put the small device away. "No damage at all, not even a rash. Your electrolyte levels are perfect, better than when you went in." Lucas wiped his face with the back of his hand. Salt flaked off. "Told you, feels clean, like a really strong saltwater bath." Sophia laughed. She stretched her arms. "My skin feels tight, in a good way, like after a long swim in the ocean back home." Elias Grant watched his team. Pride showed in his eyes. He spoke into the open comm. "Observer Thalvir, our divers are back safe. Samples secured. No injuries. We are going to run some more tests up here before the next dive." From high above, Thalvir answered right away. His voice sounded different now. Not sharp with warning, soft with something new. "Captain Grant, we saw them emerge. Our sensors confirm it. No cell rupture. No osmotic shock. How is this possible?" Elias looked up at the bright sky. He knew the alien ship was there, watching every move. "It's simple, really. Our bodies handle salt. We come from a world with oceans full of it. Not this strong, but close enough. Our cells have ways to balance things. Pumps that move sodium out. Proteins that hold water right. We don't fight the salt. We live with it." Thalvir was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Our kind cannot do that. Even a drop of this water would eat through our skin. We lose form. We dissolve." Sophia stepped closer to the edge. She looked down at the rolling sea. "We don't dissolve. We just get salty." She dipped one finger in a small puddle on the rock. The puddle was leftover spray. She lifted her finger. Water ran down. Her skin stayed smooth. No burn, no red mark. On the dawn horizon, the bridge crew stared at the close-up drone feed. A tentacle pointed. Look, direct contact. No reaction. Another voice clicked. Their outer layer must be different. Tougher membranes, special lipids. Captain Vexlar leaned forward. They evolved in danger. Their world has places like this. Not everywhere, but enough to shape them. Thalvir spoke again over the comm. Captain, may we ask more? We have records of your planet. Earth has seas, but none match KL9. How do you prepare for something worse? Elias smiled a little. We don't always prepare. Sometimes we just jump in and figure it out. But for this trip, we trained in our saltiest spots. The Dead Sea, parts of the Great Salt Lake, brine pools in the Gulf of Mexico, places where the water fights you. We learned to breathe through it, to move slow, to trust our bodies. Nathan added from beside him. We also tested small bits of this planet's water in our lab back on the ship. Tiny drops. Our skin reacted a little at first, tingled, then nothing. Our systems adapted fast. Olivia held up another jar. This one has crystals from 10 meters down. Look how they grow. Perfect cubes. Almost no flaws. The water here builds things instead of just destroying. The team moved to their equipment. They set up a small table on the rock. They poured tiny amounts of the samples into dishes. They watched how the liquids mixed, how crystals formed right in front of them. They talked low, pointed, took notes on pads. From orbit, the Vorin watched every action. Their screens showed heat maps of the humans. Warm bodies against cold rock. No cold spots from damage, no hot spots from burns. Thalvir could not stay quiet. Captain Grant, we must understand. You did not wear full protection. You let the water touch you. Why take the risk? Elias answered without pause. Because it's worth it. The science down there is new. The crystals, the layers, the way life might hide in places we thought were dead. If we stay safe up here, we learn nothing. Sometimes you have to get wet to see what's real. Lucas sat on a rock ledge. He dangled his legs over the edge. Waves came close, but did not reach him. Besides, he said loud enough for the comm, it's fun. The weight of the water, the way it holds you up, feels powerful. Sophia joined him. She kicked her feet a little. Droplets flew. Like flying, but slower. The other humans laughed. Even Emma smiled as she packed her medical kit. On the alien bridge, Vexlar turned to Thalvir. They called death fun. They called poison powerful. They called danger a game. Thalvir's skin glowed soft blue now. Calm. Thinking. Not death. Challenge. They seek the edge. They push against what kills others. And they win. A junior observer spoke up. Shall we update the hazard file for Kale 9? Vexlar nodded. Yes. Add a note. Extreme environment. Lethal to most known species. Tolerable to humans. Humans show preference for immersion. Thalvir added, and enjoyment. Down on the island, Elias looked at his watch. We have time for one more short dive before dark. Lucas, Sophia, you up for it? Both nodded fast. Ready. Olivia stood. This time I want to go. I need to see the crystal field myself. Nathan raised a hand. I'll monitor from here. Get some deep scans. Emma checked her gear. I'll be ready if anyone needs help. Elias looked around at them. 5 faces. All steady. All eager. All right. 3 of you this time. Short and safe. Same rules. They started to gear up again. Masks. Rebreathers. Small tools. No fear in their movements. Just purpose. Thalvir watched the drone feed. He saw them prepare. He saw the smiles. He saw the way they looked at the deadly sea like an old friend. He spoke one last time over the comm. Captain Grant, be careful. But know this. We are learning from you. Your kind changes how we see survival. Elias answered. Happy to help. And thanks for watching. Means a lot. The humans stepped to the edge again. 3 this time. Olivia in the middle, Lucas and Sophia on each side. They counted down. 3, 2, 1. They jumped. The water took them. Steam rose, foam boiled, then quiet. On the dawn horizon the crew waited. No panic now, just deep interest. They knew the humans would come back. They knew the humans would smile. They knew the humans would want more. The deadly salt water rolled on. It hissed and crashed, but now it held no terror for the watchers above. It held mystery. It held wonder. It held humans who loved it. And somewhere in that love, the Vorin began to see something greater than fear. They saw strength. Raw, simple, human. The three humans hit the water together. Olivia, Lucas, and Sophia vanished under the surface in a burst of foam and steam. The sea hissed around their entry point. Small waves rolled over the spot where they had been. Then nothing. Just the endless blue rolling on. On the black rock, Elias, Nathan, and Emma watched the water. They did not pace. They did not shout. They stood calm. Nathan kept his eyes on the scanner. Lines moved slow across the screen. Emma checked the vital signs feed. 3 steady green lines. Elias looked up at the sky. He knew the Vorin were waiting too. High above on the dawn horizon, the bridge was full of quiet tension. Every screen showed the same view. The dark water. The empty surface. Thalvir's tentacles stayed still. His skin glowed a steady pale green. Wonder had replaced most of the fear. Captain Vexlar broke the silence. How long this time? An analyst answered. Planned 8 minutes. They are at 6 now. Thalvir spoke low. They go deeper each time. They stay longer. And still, nothing breaks. The minutes passed. 7, 8, 9. The humans on the rocks stayed relaxed. Olivia's voice came through their private comms, soft but clear. Look at this. The crystal field is bigger than we thought. Towers everywhere. Some are glowing a little. Maybe from minerals. Lucas answered. Currents pulling hard. Feels like swimming against a river. Sophia added, I see movement. Not alive. Just salt shifting. Like slow snow underwater. They sounded happy. Excited. Like children finding a new playground. At 12 minutes, bubbles broke the surface. 3 heads appeared. They swam to the rock with easy strokes. Water poured off them as they climbed up. Salt crystals stuck thick on their skin and hair. They looked like they had rolled in sugar. Olivia pulled off her mask first. She grinned wide. Her cheeks were red from the salt wind. That was incredible. The bottom is alive with formations. Not life, but close. It builds itself. Lucas shook his head hard. Droplets flew. Felt heavier down there, like the water wanted to hold us. Sophia laughed. I could have stayed longer, but we stuck to the plan. Emma scanned them quick. All clear, vital strong, no changes. Nathan took the new samples. 3 jars this time. 1 with glowing bits, 1 with thick white paste, 1 with clear liquid from deeper down. These will keep us busy for months. Elias clapped Olivia on the back. Good work, all of you. From orbit, Thalvir could not hold back. He opened the comm. Captain Grant, they are out again. Safe, healthy. We have no words for this. Elias looked up. We're glad you're still watching, Observer. Come join the conversation. Thalvir paused. Then he said, we request a direct link, face to face, if you allow it. Elias nodded. Send your drone down. We'll talk. Minutes later, a small Vorin probe dropped from the sky. It was round and smooth. Blue lights glowed along its sides. It floated low over the rock island. A soft hum came from it. A holoscreen appeared above it. Thalvir's face showed there. Tall, glowing, tentacles moving slow. The humans gathered around. They sat on the rock. Casual, like friends meeting. Thalvir spoke first. We have watched you since you arrived. We warned you. We feared for you, but you entered the sea, again and again. You came back whole. Explain, please. How does your kind do this? Elias leaned forward. It's not magic. It's biology. Earth has salty seas. Some places, like the Dead Sea, are so full of salt you float without trying. The water burns if you stay too long, cuts your eyes, dries your skin. But we go there anyway. We swim, we float, we learn what our bodies can take. Olivia added, our cells have special tools, ion pumps. They push salt out, keep balance inside. Membranes that bend but don't break. We evolved near water. Salt water shaped us. Not this strong, but strong enough. Lucas smiled. And we like it. The push, the burn, the way it makes you feel alive. Thalvir's eyes grew wide. You seek the burn? Sophia nodded. Not to hurt ourselves, to feel the edge, to know what we can handle. Back home, people surf big waves, dive deep without tanks, swim in cold water that stops most hearts. It's not about danger. It's about testing limits. Nathan pointed at the sea. This water is worse than anything on Earth, but our body said, we know this game, so we played. Thalvir was quiet a long time. Then he said, our probes melt, our suits fail, we watch from above, safe, always safe. You dive in, and you come back smiling. Elias met the alien's gaze through the hollow. Safety is good, but sometimes you have to get close to the fire to understand it. This sea is fire, and we wanted to know it. Thalvir's skin shifted to a warm orange. You change our view of many things. We thought survival meant staying away from danger. You show us it can mean facing it, even loving it. Olivia held up one of the glowing crystal samples. This planet has wonders, hidden in poison. If we had stayed safe in orbit, we would never see them. The Voran probe hovered closer. Thalvir looked at each human face. We will update our records. Kale 9 is no longer just deadly. It is human-friendly, in ways we did not expect. Elias stood. We're almost done here. One last set of readings, then we head back to the ship. Thalvir nodded. We will stay in orbit a while longer, to watch, to learn. The hollow faded. The probe rose slow. It hung above them like a quiet guardian. The humans worked fast. They packed samples, ran final scans, took one more look at the sea. The sun was low now. The water turned gold and red. Lucas stood at the edge last. He looked down. Think we'll come back someday? Sophia joined him. Count on it. Elias called them. Time to go. They walked to the landing craft. One by one they stepped inside. The door closed. Engines hummed. The craft lifted off the black rock. It rose into the sky. On the dawn horizon, the Voran watched the small ship climb. They did not speak much. They just stared. Thalvir turned to Captain Vexlar. They leave, but they take something with them, and they leave something here. Vexlar agreed. A question. What else do they love that would kill the rest of us? The New Frontier docked with its mothership. The team unloaded samples. They talked about data, about crystals, about the dive. They laughed. They planned the next trip. Far below, Kale 9 kept its secrets. The deadly sea rolled on. Waves crashed. Salt hissed. But now the galaxy knew something new. Humans did not run from poison. They swam in it. They smiled in it. They learned from it. And somewhere in the stars, the Voran added a single line to their hazard files. Kale 9. Extreme salinity. Lethal to most. Tolerable to humans. Humans appear to find it enjoyable. The probe stayed behind. It floated high, watching the empty rock, watching the endless water, waiting, just in case the humans ever came back for more.